Hey everyone, this is Charmaine from Fantastic Crafts. I hope all of you are having a beautiful and wonderful Wednesday. Today I'm going to be doing another technique card. This is a background technique created by using textured paste. I think this technique just gives stunning results. When you pair the oxide inks with any kind of paste, really, the colors from the oxide ink just gives another level to your paste. And it just pulls out that color from the oxide inks, and I love this technique and I love the results it creates. So I started with 3 of these Distress Oxide inks, and I wanted to go with more pastel colors just because I know April is coming up, Easter is coming up, and I haven't played with these colors in a very long time. So I started with my lightest color and just kind of blended that with my ink blending tool. This is the mini ink blending tool. And now when you do ink blending, it's very simple, especially with this Distress Oxide inks. It just blends. I don't worry about having little marks or anything. And plus, with this background, when you create it, it doesn't really matter. Those imperfections actually aren't imperfections. They're more, it adds more character to your project and more texture. And this card is all about texture, all about the different levels of texture. It's a technique card, so you make it you. I had so much fun. I love blending because I feel like it's very therapeutic for me. So I just go ahead, I turn some music on, and I blend away on my background paper. And the way I blend is I just go in circular motion, but that's because I'm used to doing that. You don't necessarily have to do that with these oxide inks. One thing I do with these Distress Oxide inks when blending is I give a lot of blending space. So I blend the 2 colors with a lot of colors. So with that yellow and with that first color and that second color, what I do is when blending, I go in with that first color and blend it using that first color. So the lighter color is what I use to blend. Now I do the same exact thing with this second background paper. Now I did forget to mention that I'm using watercolor paper for this technique because of the paste, and it has a little bit of liquid to it. I wanted a paper that would be substantial and hold up to that paste. You can try using any cardstock or anything, but I just felt this watercolor paper gave me a little better result and was able to pull that oxide ink up a little bit more to show the vibrant colors from the oxide inks. So I went with more of summer colors for this one, just kind of orange and yellows and pretty much, yeah, those 3 colors, and I just blended just like I did with the previous card. I just go ahead, and there's really no technique needed in terms of blending. The oxide inks do the work for you, and I'm not kidding you. These inks are amazing because of that. So once I had inked my background, what I did was I took a stencil, and you can choose whatever stencil you would like, and I also took this iZinc pearl paste. It has a little bit of shimmer to this paste, which is amazing when you layer it with this oxide ink, because it then adds that color and pulls that color and adds that shimmer. So I taped that stencil to my work surface, and then I just used a little spatula. You can use anything you have that's flat, even a card, and just kind of smooth it onto that texture, that background or that stencil. And I kind of did it as if you were, let's say, frosting a cake, or how you'd be putting cream cheese on a bagel, or putting butter on a bagel or bread. That is the way I was putting this paste on. It was very fun, actually. I enjoyed doing that, and I kind of went a little crazy. I didn't have to smooth it out as much as I was smoothing it out, but like I said, I was having fun. I was just like, okay, this is going to be here, and I was just in my own world doing my own crafting. So you don't necessarily have to do that, but I did. I also took out that extra that I had and just kind of scraped it back into the bottle and to the container. And you can do this with any paste, and that is why these pastes last so incredibly long. So once I was done with that, I very gently removed that tape and that paper. And it, of course, is like magic because it reveals this amazing background. Now, I did leave this overnight to dry, and when I got back to it in the morning, you can see how those colors are pulled. It's very subtle. It's like a tone on tone effect almost. And it's very subtle, but it's pearlized and it has shimmer, and the color is just gorgeous. So I did ink the edges of those cards just because I wanted a more finished look. Then I took a black cardstock, and it was a 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and I cut it down into card bases, a top folding card base. So I just scored that in 5.5, and then cut that in half. So at 4.25, I cut that, and then I had 2 card bases, perfect for my 2 cards. Now this part doesn't really have to happen. I just wanted to use this washi tape that I just got. So I just put some washi tape on the middle just to kind of put my sentiment there and my image. What I did with my image was I stamped these ahead of time. This is a layered butterfly stamp set from Hero Arts. And I used, of course, my brother's Scan and Cut to cut all these butterflies out, and any extra I had I just keep it until I use it on my other cards. I also decided to raise these up, so I put some foam squares in the back of these and just put that butterfly at an angle kind of, and then I wanted to really put a sentiment, and this sentiment was absolutely perfect. I felt just flittering, I believe, or flitting by to say hi. It was just kind of cute, and so I stamped that on some scrap pieces of Nina cardstock that I had with some Versamark ink because I feel like it gives your sentiments a very sharp look. Then I simply put my favorite stitch marks on that using my gel pen and inked the edges using a black ink. Then I also popped those up right where that antenna of the butterfly is, and then I used some glue to put some on that top part of that butterfly and just glue that onto my sentiment area just so it's more secured. After that was done, I simply put some glue, my favorite art glitter glue, onto this back panel of this card that I just created, and then put that onto my card base. And that is simple, and that is all. That is how you create this gorgeous background card. I am so in love with this technique. I want to go and buy a million more stencils just to do this technique. And you can see in some of these pictures how beautiful it is and how textured it is, and how if you saw it in real life, you can see that shimmer. And this is not something you can create with even just an embossing folder. This is a technique on its own. It is gorgeous. I love how, especially using the Oxide inks, how much the color is pulled through, and you can see it through that paste. And then, like I said, it almost creates another color of Oxide ink. It is just simply gorgeous. I love it, and I had so much fun creating it, and I hope you guys did too watching this video. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and if you do really like this technique, please give my video a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much once again for your support and your love. Until next time, bye.